the devotees of God, their aim is one. The attainment of spiritual perfection is there. Because they are focused upon that absolute goal. So, those who are on this path, that is, those who have actually achieved this spiritual resolution, determination, will never be bewildered by this material energy. Although those whose intelligence are irresolute will always remain bewildered. Now Krishna says, men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets resultant in good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. There are those who read the Vedas, and yet they don't read the Vedas. They're tempted by some paltry fruits, the attainment of a better life after this in some heavenly realm. Sounds good initially. But we learn that the living being, when he runs out of his good karma credits, has to come back down to this world. It's like being able to go on a vacation, coming here to Hawaii on your credit card, but then you got to go back and you have to work it off again. You may have saved up some amount of money when you come to Hawaii. It's all spent out. What do you got to do? You got to go back, do your work again, so you can come back again. So the attainment of these heavenly planets is something like this. So initially, as we were describing, the Vedas deal with 3 sections. So initially, the Vedas understand that mankind at least has to be set on the path of piety. That is the first thing. And for a man to want to become pious, he has to understand that there's some gain to be gotten from that. Just like tempt a child. We say, if you behave good, then you'll get this reward at the end of the day. So there's some reward there, dangling there. With good behavior, you'll get this. With negative behavior, you may get something else. You'll sit in the corner for the day, rest of the day, like that. So the Vedas are like that in the beginning. At least they want to try to set mankind on the path of piety. But it is a man of small knowledge who doesn't see beyond that. There is more than simply being a pious man within this world. Such pious persons, or those who live in accordance with the principles of piety, they're attached to the results. They're not attached to the piety. Just like, I'll give you an example. This is a good example. Many people in the beginning, they become vegetarian because they feel that they're going to be healthy. Meat-eating diet. Because maybe the result wasn't what they expected, or maybe it was, but then they were tempted by their previous dietary habits. So they may change their mind. But a devotee will never change his mind, because he naturally has compassion for the innocent creatures. And he knows that by killing animals, there's a karmic consideration. That you are taking a life. The Sanskrit word for meat is mamsha. Mamsha. This is stated in the Manu Samhita. Mamsha means me, eat. In other words, by my taking this life, I am allowing him, the word actually indicates that I am allowing him, with full knowledge, to come and eat me in the future. Mamsha. Me eat. meat. Me eat. Me eat meat. I'm allowing you to eat me in the future because I'm eating you in this life. This is karma. As you sow, so shall you reap. The repercussions will come. So you have to think that is it a wise choice to eat meat with the understanding or with the wisdom that ultimately I will be this creature's dinner in the future, in another life. The repercussions will come. It's not a question of just the health principle. That we may change our mind. Because it's all self-centered idea. I'm going to become healthy and like that. And then I may change my mind. But there's a higher principle there. Built in within the word mamsha. So people may have different ideas of why they should be pious. Oh, there will be good karmas. But then they can think also in the future, I can enjoy life by not being pious. I can live a sinful life and enjoy. Therefore, such persons may fluctuate in mental determination. A pious man, in other words, you may be good now, but decide to be bad later. Sometimes in association. A good child turns bad because he associates with the wrong crowd. Because he's not firmly fixed in the benefits of being good, right? So, Krishna says that these people are attached. Those who perform pious works for the sake of achieving the result, they remain very attached to the result, not to the piety, but to the result that comes from the piety. So in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. They are not fixed upon the higher goal. Therefore, they cannot become fixed in the service of God. They're attached to the results that will come from their piety. The devotee may act piously, but he is not attached to the pious acts. He's attached to the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. He's attached to pleasing God. That's a higher thing. We're not attached to piety. We're attached to pleasing God. The materialists are attached to piety because they're attached to material things that come from the piety. Understand the difference? They're attached to good works because good works brings good results. So the devotee may also engage in good works, but he's not concerned with the results. He's concerned with pleasing the Supreme Lord. That is the difference between karma and karma yoga. We're dealing with the principle of yoga. Yoga means what? Yoga means to link, to connect what we do with God. Karma yoga therefore means to link our activities with the Supreme. Ultimately, therefore, is a form of devotion. Karma yoga is a form of devotional service also. A broader sense of devotional service or bhakti yoga. We're living within this world. I want to link myself with God through the works that I perform. Technically, that is called varnashram in the Sanskrit text. Srila Prabhupada used to refer to it as dovetailing. Dovetail our works in the service of the Supreme Lord. Whatever you do, Prabhupada used to say, do it for Krishna. You do it for Krishna. So, the devotee becomes attached to working for the Lord. He's not attached to the work itself. Certainly he lives piously, but he doesn't attach himself to the results of the pious actions. What he's attached to is pleasing the Lord through his actions.